Hey guys, this isn't exactly a podcast, this is more of a shout out. And this shout out goes to Saban brands. Now, how do I start? Well, first of all, I've sent a letter out to Saban brands, just copied and pasted in Word and keep sending it over and over and over and over again until I get a reply. Well, I haven't exactly had a reply, but one of my main concerns, which I have been trying to contact them since halfway through Samurai, so I've been doing this now for quite a while, and I think I probably sent the email probably about 38 times, somewhere around about that. I've been sending it quite a lot. I think I did send it about 42 seems to ring a bell. So what I'm trying to say is they are, I think, listening to my letter, and this is good, because if they're starting to listen, what more things will they start to listen to from myself or other fans in general? For instance, one of the things I was really persisting with Saban brands was they need to bring 3 people back that I feel can actually put the show back on track. Now, those people are kind of the obvious choice, but there's a reason for that, because they specialise in what they do and they understand the fans. So without any further ado, the people I think should come back is Koichi Sakamoto. Now, the next season that's coming up next is the adaptation of Koichi, however you pronounce it, which will obviously become Dino Charge, as we found out, well, not recently, but not long ago. In my opinion, I think, seems though Koichi Sakamoto directed Koichi, it would make sense for him to direct Dino Charge. Now, the reason I see this is because it seems though he worked on the Sentai counterpart, it would make sense for him to work on the Power Ranger counterpart. He knows how to work it, and he could also probably make it a lot different from the Sentai. I would like to see kind of put the Sentai and the Power Ranger counterparts together and go, wow, they are vastly different, they are very different. And at the moment, that is not what's happening. It's pretty much a copy and paste. So I feel Koichi Sakamoto, he's a brilliant director, but I think he should have a go at Power Rangers. He needs to get back in there. Next person, of course, is Judd Lynn. Now, this is a funny one, actually, because, believe it or not, I actually, again, in that letter, I was saying about 3 people, and I broke it down individually and said why, what they can do, and how they would better it and actually generate money for the company and be in the fans' better interest as well as their own. So I said this would actually make sense. Judd Lynn, as we know, he saved Power Rangers. He saved it towards the end of Turbo before it was cancelled. Space, obviously, as we know, was going to be the last season, and he was famously known for taking Den Sentai Mega Ranger into Power Rangers in Space, as we know, and actually turned a good Sentai into a very good Power Ranger counterpart. So, and also as well, as we know, Judd Lynn has worked on various other Power Ranger series that are beloved by fans throughout the world, such as Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed, Rescue, Time Force, and I think that's the last Power Ranger season he worked on until Disney's Power Rangers RPM. Now, they were all pretty good seasons in my opinion, and I think it needs to inject a little bit of Judd Lynn into that as well, because Judd knows his stuff. He's very good at what he does. He's a very good executive director, and it's a good job he's in that position. Because of course, as we know, they brought him back. I found it a bit funny. I think I was sending, again, like I said, I sent it about 40 odd times, the letter, and I think I sent it again, or not even a week, a few days in between, or half a week, something about that, like that. And there was a news flash kind of came out in the Power Ranger world. It said Judd Lynn's coming back as executive producer for Power Rangers Dino Charge. And I thought, oh, that's good. So there is hope for the franchise after all. I'm glad that they've decided to bring him back, but I think it's a bit odd how it happened to be timed round about the time that I've been sending this email again and again within less than a week. They haven't replied to me, but they brought Judd Lynn back. So I'm wondering if Koichi Sakamoto will be on the list as well. Now, I said 3 people, so that was 2 people. The third person, I believe. Now, come on. This is the other half of the show. The other 50%. You need Ron Wasserman back. You need the show to rock again. It needs to have that unique flavour to show its kind of soul and identity that it had to begin with. I'm not saying be like Mighty Morphin, but I'm saying be far from it. Because I'm kind of getting fed up, and I'm sure a lot of people are, with the same Go-Go theme, with a slight badly remix for 4 years in a row now. It's getting pretty tiresome. And Ron brings something different, new and unique to to the table every single time. I would actually like to hear that synth stuff come back again, or maybe something in the style of Redux, and possibly not just a new theme song by Ron, but probably the score as well. I think really whoever does the theme should really do the score as well, and Ron I think is probably the best person for that, because he knows how to give that real fire and energy that kind of keeps the action pumped and delivers the message across and puts the action in place. So I think Ron will be perfect for Dino Charge and for other seasons to come, if that need be. And that's not even a question. I would say, you know, bring Ron back. I don't see what the problem is. Speaking of Ron, a lot of people have been asking me, are you the person who convinced Ron to contact Saban Brands about coming back for Samurai? Well, the answer to that is yes. I did convince Ron. I think it was more of a convincing. Well, here's the story. Basically, what happened was, and some of you may have heard bits of it when he was last at Paramorphicon saying that he had contacted Jonathan. That was kind of my slight intervention, which was I said, I think it was about a month or so, and in that month I found out, oh, Saban's bought the rights back. I thought this will be good. I said, I'm going to contact Ron. So I contacted Ron straight away and I said to him, look, Saban Brands has bought back the franchise. And I said, oh, that's great. Absolutely great. And I said, you know what? Have you kind of given it a thought whether you might like to return back to the franchise and do the theme song again? I think Ron kind of thought about it for a bit and he said, you know what, maybe I might do that. So of course he did, as he said at Paramorphicon. And a couple of weeks, I think it was about almost a month or just over a month or something like that. And I said to Ron, so how did it go? And, well, they told me they found someone else. Oh, see, is there a reason why they chose someone else over you? And it turned out they decided to go with someone who was a close family friend who's worked with Saban before. Which in a way, it kind of almost is a kick in the teeth, really. Because Saban Brands, or Saban himself, knows that Ron gave that iconic flavour and feel to the show that gave it its soul and identity, like I said. But it just kind of, it just seems you want to kind of bring back the franchise and you want to, not reboot it, but you want to kind of make sure the fans know it's you has it back. In other words, if that makes sense. So you want to go all out and about you do just to make sure you've got everything right. Rehire the people that made it great. Main three who I think should come back is Koichi Sakamoto, like I said, for directing, Judd Lynn for executive producer, of stories and everything, and of course Ron for scoring and theme song for the show. And it'd be quite good actually if, like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, if there were new additional fight songs. So kind of like how Mighty Morphin had, you know, Fight, I Will Win, We Need a Hero, all of those songs kind of, and probably even use those from Redux, you know, like how Ron bought from Mighty Morphin, like I was saying. I think that would be great if we could have something like that again. Not though, I mean, you could use those exact songs, I've got nothing wrong with that, I love those songs, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do, but I'd like to hear, like, I don't know, this is, for an example, off the top of my head, something like Fight to Win or something. You know, it has the key word in there, emphasises the action, what's going on, how it comes together. And that is exactly what is needed. So really, without any further ado, this is my shout out to Saban Brands. Please rehire Koichi Sakamoto for directing Power Rangers. Judd Lynn, keep him as long as you can, because trust me, you will need him. And I would have no doubt that you will need him for future Power Rangers series, not to mention probably the movie as well. Next, of course, like I said, Ron Wasserman. Come on, you heard me. You know why Ron needs to come back. And I don't really understand why he hasn't kind of been asked to come back even for Megaforce or any other thing, to be honest. You've got a new season. A new season, a new chance to make it right. So please, please, please hire Koichi Sakamoto, Judd Lynn and Ron Wasserman. It's not too much to ask for, and it will also be not just in the fans' best interest, but it'll be for the company's best interest. Why? Well, it's going to make the series more watchable, isn't it? Which means more ratings, which means people are more likely to buy the toys and the DVDs and everything. So again, it all needs to happen, because if it doesn't, it will kind of, how can I put it, it will kind of fall down like dominoes, and you don't want that to happen. You just don't want everything to go wrong. So if you want things to go right, so guys, I'm asking basically everyone who is a Power Ranger fan and wants the right thing to happen to call Saban Brands and tell them the reasons why you want Koichi Sakamoto, Judd Lynn and Ron Wasserman back. And I hope that this will get to Saban Brands. I'm still waiting for them to reply back to me, and you need to have the music, the directing and the stories is very weak, and that's why you need to have the main strengths of the show, aka Koichi, Judd and Ron. You need to have those three in there. If you don't have those three people in there, the show will just keep getting worse and worse and worse. You don't need to have extravagant graphics or a big budget to do this. You just need to have the right minds, the right people with that creative courage and energy that just kind of goes BAM! And you have it all together. They're just so hard to contact. I've tried and tried and tried and tried to actually find these people, and they are so difficult, and I just can't seem to get through to anyone. I've emailed and emailed and emailed, and I've had no response whatsoever. And I'm thinking, wow, does the production really want the show to go downhill? So it will be in their best interest if they listen. There's a lot of people that are very, very passionate about the show. I mean, I've got a group, and if you guys want to follow us on We Want Ron Wasserman Making Music for Power Rangers Again on our Facebook page, or even both if you want, we want a Green Ranger movie and TV series. If you already are on there, you'll see what I'm kind of doing. I'm kind of pitching ideas in the group of what I would say I would do if I was in charge, or if I was writing for the show. I think we're at almost 100 people already, so it's growing good. And I want to thank each and every one of you who are supporting both groups, all of you guys, because the support is just great. The more support, the better. But I'm really, really happy where we're going with this, guys. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much my plead to Saban Brands. I hope this gets through to them. I feel my letter has got through to them, but being very cheap as it seems to be, they can't hire me, but they can take what I've said. So I'm so glad that I haven't posted my episode guides, character bios. At the moment I am bouncing between 5 or 6 things. This is the beauty of it, because I can picture it. And I don't like to brag, I really don't, but I'm just saying it as it is. I can picture what they're wearing, how they're acting, what the sets look like, how they react, everything about it. The villains, Zords, weapons, character names, everything. And I don't know how I do it, but it's all there in my mind. Already for Takuja, I am well underway. I think I'm 2 episodes ahead of where the episodes actually are at the moment. So I'll probably end up finishing before the series is finished, which would be quite interesting to see what I come up with and compare the two. I'm quite liking the little plot twist I've done. Those are the things I like. And it was something I remember as a kid when I was watching Zeo. I remember the identity of the Gold Ranger. It really got you thinking. I like the idea of kind of teasing little things and kind of making it look like something when it's not. So the fans, you've kind of tricked them into believing that, oh, that's who it's going to be, or that's what's going to happen. But then you turn on its head and go, what? You know. So you kind of question yourself along, and it makes it more interesting. You can engage with it more because there is like a clue, there is a mystery. You can get what I mean. It just seems to have lost its sole purpose and where it's going, and you need to rehire those 3 people. I will say again, Koichi Sakamoto, Judd Lynn, Ron Wasserman. You need to have those people. So that is pretty much it from me. Sorry to go on a bit. That was kind of my rant and shout out kind of rolled into one, I guess.